Hello everybody and welcome to the World Cyber Arena 2015 European Pro Qualifiers. We're in day 2, and yesterday we saw some excellent matches across WarCraft III, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be starting with some Hearthstone, and Thijs from the Netherlands and Lifecoach from Germany will be facing off in our first matchup. After that we're going to have some WarCraft III followed by some more Hearthstone, and then 3 matches in a row of Heroes of the Storm. Make sure to stay tuned for all the action today and throughout all of Gamescom 2015. And now let's begin our first Hearthstone match.
WCA European Finals. Lifecoach versus Thijs, both guys from Nihilum Gaming facing here. What an amazing match in front of us.
Yeah, we got a bit of a team kill going on here. One of them will walk away with a point, which these points are so valuable in the round robin for the spot to China. So this is going to be an amazing match. And both these players perform so well. Yes, all the players perform so well. So I'm really excited to see what they got to bring today.
We were talking to Thijs in the morning, and he doesn't want to lose, obviously, and he was really upset after he saw us yesterday. But on the other hand, we have those 4 amazing players, so he realized that, hey, like even if I lose, there is nothing to be ashamed of. But he can't lose. If he loses here, he's guaranteed to be in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and that means he's contesting for a spot in China. Lifecoach, if he takes the win here, he's almost guaranteed a spot. So Lifecoach is a lot. They both have a lot to play for here. You got one Lifecoach trying to get his spot in China, and Thijs fighting for his tournament life almost, because the lower bracket's just not something you don't want to be, especially in this format.
So I want to remind you guys that we are obviously here at Gamescom, WCA European Finals. Those guys are playing for the invite spots for the WCA Finals in Yinchuan, China. 3 players will get an invite out of 4, which is great. Like almost everybody's getting an invite, but one guy is not going to China.
One guy's going home empty-handed. No prize money, no trip. It's harsh, but it makes the environment really competitive, and it's going to bring some excellent games, and the players are going to be playing to their best because they know they want to get that spot, and they don't want to be that guy who goes home with nothing to show.
That's absolutely true. And the format is best of 5 conquest, the format you know and love. We are going to have a round robin, which means that every player plays like every other player. So they basically will play, how many matches? 8 matches in total? I think it's 8 matches in total, right?
It's a lot of games,
yeah. 2 matches every day for 4 days. And then we'll determine who is in the upper bracket on Saturday, who is in the lower bracket. And we'll have the upper bracket match, lower bracket match, consolation final, and the grand final to have our winner for the tournament. What do you think about the lineups of those guys?
Oh, the decks so far have been really good. Lifecoach bringing Hunter, that was surprising. No Handlock being a very popular pick for him, so it was interesting to see him not bring that. Thijs bringing almost a very standard lineup as well. Running that hybrid Hunter with Explosive Trap really paid off yesterday with some kind of baits on Stan Zivka. But we're actually going to see Handlock from Thijs, and we're going to see Patron Warrior. Now, Patron Warrior had some crazy games yesterday, so I'm excited to see what it brings today.
Yeah, game number 1 is going to start. And there is a Big Game Hunter versus that Handlock already, and we know that Thijs is running Giants. He is running this version with Demons as well. Voidcaller, Jaraxxus, Morganis. Big Game Hunter is an amazing card. Lifecoach is also running a Bro card. A card that's very good versus Handlock with so many creatures.
Yeah, and Handlock's such a bad matchup for Patron, so having that Brawl available will open the Handlock player up for some big frothing combos at like a Patron board. So yeah, Brawl's a really cool card. And Big Game Hunter really interacts well with Inner Rage. You can make BGH targets with it, and kills Frothing Berserkers, Giants, so Big Game Hunter's a good card right now.
Okay, so what is Lifecoach looking for overall for this matchup? Obviously Big Game Hunter, and it's a great card for him. But what else? Like, weapons?
Weapons, card draw. He just needs to draw as many resources as he can and really contest the Handlock player. The Handlock player is going to have the advantage when he builds that big board, but the Brawl is going to play a vital role if he draws it. And Thijs, if he was watching the games yesterday, he saw that Brawl, because he did draw it in one of his games against Kalento, so that will be playing on Thijs' mind as well. Where's this Brawl going to come into play?
And what is Thijs looking for?
Thijs is looking for a good, strong board at the start. Twilight Drake's definitely going to help. That Ooze is very important as well. Can really stop the Patron in its tracks. But you have to be very careful where you use it. Use it on the first Death Spite usually might not be a good idea. The second Death Spite is the one that usually activates the big combo and the big plays. So timing his ooze may be a vital part of his game plan. He actually draws a giant, so that's another important piece of building that early pressure to contest this warrior. Force him to use stuff like Big Game Hunter and Execute to deal with it.
In most cases that I've seen this matchup from the Patron perspective, Patron wants to have that frauding, and he wants to accumulate a lot of cards, has the early removal for the big minions, Execute maybe, and then when he has the remove, like he survived till a specific turn, you slam Thorison, you hope it hits frauding, maybe double frauding, War Song, Whirlwind Effect, and then you try to combat in one turn. So overall, even though it's a good matchup for Handlock, because Handlock just needs to do what Handlock does, as you said, play big minions, taunt them up, and deal some damage, Patron has to really draw into specific setup to win. But it's not impossible.
And this is not standard Handlock. This has a Demon splashed into the mix. We just see a Doomguard there and a Void Caller, Mal'Ganis as well. So this is a matchup I haven't really seen a lot of, this kind of Demon Handlock hybrid. So I'd like to see how important the Demon cards are in this matchup. Mal'Ganis will protect him from taking lethal, so you'll need to deal with the Mal'Ganis before you can finish him off. So that's going to be an interesting interaction as well.
Yeah, I think demons are really important in this matchup as well. They provide you extra bodies that do not spawn patrons. Even Void Caller, free attack, so you cannot get more patrons from it. Doomguard, giving him extra pressure so he can attack and deal even more damage. Here just having that, for Lifecoach, being able to attack the Twilight Drake was important. And now with the second Death Spite, he will be able to kill it. But Thijs should be happy about the start of this game.
So he actually takes out the first Death Spite with the Ooze. He could have saved it for the second one. There might have been a potential early Patron combo from Lifecoach. He's probably playing around that, just to keep the board nice and clear so Thijs has that advantage. But Caldi made a good point at the qualifiers that he'd been discussing, that the second Death Spite is usually the one that sets up the big swing turn for the Patron. But it seems like Thijs really valued taking away one of his options, probably protecting that Drake more than anything.
Yeah, protecting the Drake and also getting an upper hand in the matchup where he is the one pressuring Patron, not giving the time to Patron to actually set up the combos, draw a lot of cards. So Thijs just wants to kill Lifecoach as fast as possible. And he has the tools because he has those Mountain Giants as well. Double Mountain Giant! It's, oh my god!
He's just got everything he needs here, but he had to spend the Death Spite to start clearing around the Drake. He had to use another Death Spite to finish it off. And then the Giant's going to come down, and he's going to have to deal with that. And this is what Handlock does. It just puts threat after threat after threat, and the Patron Warrior really struggles sometimes if he doesn't find those executes.
Yeah, oh man, it's so sad that he will not be able to play 2 of Mountain Giants this turn, because the second one will actually cost 4. But they are great, especially this early, where Patron is just trying to draw cards and to get into that Horizon.
And if he does commit to a Giant here, we have a Big Game Hunter in Lifecoach's hand, which is fine. It's a good way to deal with the problem and react to it. But what Handlock starts to become troublesome when they start taunting stuff. So if you Big Game Hunter, say, just a raw Giant, the Giant that gets taunted later, you might not have an answer for it. And that's the big wall. They create this, like, massive wall of big 8/8s with Moltons and Mountains, and that's where the Patron struggles. It just can't punch through that wall. Yeah,
like even if you have a Big Game Hunter and an Execute, that's only 2 targets you can deal with. And if there is 4 targets, well, you will have to attack with your frauding into one of the Giants, and you're losing so much damage.
You lose a win condition almost if you have to use 1 Frauding, or maybe even 2 just to clear a wall. And Handlock still has Hellfire, Shadow Flame, it still has ways to deal with the board. So it is an excellent matchup for Handlock. But Patron can throw so much damage from hand. They can capitalize on a big board from the Handlock if they haven't got the taunts, and use the damage from the Whirlwind to make the Frothing so big that it just takes out the Handlock, because they life cap all the time.
Free Doomguard, that's amazing. And looking at Lifecoach's hand, he has that Big Game Hunter, but he doesn't have anything else. He needs to have a good Battle Rage to draw some cards, and he's already at 14 as well. What he needs is cards. He needs Frauding, he needs maybe Torison. Oh, he got a Frauding, so that might be helpful.
And we were talking about earlier how you can use Inner Rage to create Big Game Hunter targets, and he's doing that here, but the one thing that he's not going to like is Giants are coming up. So he's used his Big Game Hunter. He had to use an Inner Rage as well to deal with that threat, but Thijs just drops another threat, and then he has to deal with that one. And it's just, this is going to go a little bit back and forth until Thijs can just make such a board that Lifecoach can't deal with.
Well, actually, right now, Thijs doesn't have a great play. He has Mountain Giant. He will not be able to tone it up. And Lifecoach is setting so much damage. Like, just in his hand, he has the Warsong Frauding with Whirlwind Inner Rage as well. Even the Slam if he needs to. Only those 2 minions on board, they present 5 points of damage.
Oh wow, he finds a Dark Bomb. So he does have a way to deal with the Big Game Hunter at least, which is the most threatening minion on the board right now, 4 damage. And this Warlock's going to keep dropping in health because it plays to the Handlock's game plan, those Moltons, tap in. But it does make it the danger zone from that Frothing combo, like you were saying.
The question is now, how much damage will Frothing, how much damage this hand deals? So you will have 4 minions on board. Whirlwind is +4 damage. So Frothing will be +6. With the Inner Rage, that's 3 more damage. That's +9. It's 2. Wait, 4, 6, 9 overall. 1 attack from the Ghoul. Well, Ghoul has to attack into the mountain. So it's 9, 12 points of damage. Not enough yet, but it's a lot of damage actually.
And he's got this. He just drew this Force on here, so he could play that, reduce his hand, and then start drawing into more stuff with the Slam. And the more minions that Thijs plays, the better the Frothing becomes. So there is a danger to it. And right now, Thijs is not too bad. He does have a Taunt Activator and he does have a Heal Bot, so he has ways to sustain himself. But this combo could come out of nowhere. It's very scary. This is what makes Patron such a frightening deck. And Thijs was actually expressing to us on the bus like how he doesn't like playing it. He was saying that when he was laddering, he just wasn't having fun with it because of how powerful it is. He just doesn't feel it's that fair.
Especially if it's tagged versus Handlock as well. There is Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis might be important. It's another minion that Lifecoach will have to deal with before he can find lethal. But with right now, Thijs can actually go into Mountain Giant and the Defender of Argus. So the question will be, how scared is he of the Brawl? And we haven't seen an execute yet. There was only the Big Game Hunter, so he knows the Big Game Hunter is out for now.
Another thing to consider as well, actually taking out this Force on before he gets more value from it. So right now, this Unstable Ghoul's protecting it. He could use double Mortal Coil if he really wanted to, and then use the Giant, but depends how he wants. If he wants to taunt up this turn, he won't be able to. So it depends how threatened he feels by what Lifecoach has.
Well, he can play Mountain and Defender of Argus, basically.
But the Force lives.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, Shadow Flame. Okay, so yeah, he didn't want that Force sticking around to give more value to a Lifecoach's hand.
That makes sense because if you go double Mountain and Defender of Argus, just Ghoul and Torison, Whirlwind kills one of the Giants. So if there's an execute in hand, Frothing with Warsong will have so much value, and there will be enough mana to cast Warsong, Frothing, Execute, and Whirlwind, especially after Torison even.
And we see a Patron coming into Lifecoach's hand here. Maybe not going to do much now. This Slam might see some play here, cycle through. But Lifecoach is one of those players who figures out everything before he commits to any players, which is why you often see him rope, because he's figuring out what's happening next turn, what's happening later on, and he's actually on 6 health as well. So
he needs to find an execute.
Yeah, he needs to find an answer, actually. I mean, he could use Warsong Throbbing, maybe, to be able to deal with this, but he's using one of his win conditions to sustain himself.
Yeah, he is in a bad shape after this.
Oh, he's going to use the Patron. That's better. The Throbbing's too important. So using the Patron, which is not as important in this matchup as the Throbbing, so he's found an answer at least, and he's built a bit of a board.
And he still has Warsong Frothing in his hand, which means that even if Thijs deals with the Warsong somehow, like silences it maybe, he still will be able to give charge to Frothing. But now back to Thijs, 9 mana. Just playing Mal'Ganis into this is too dangerous, I feel.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great. He can, like you said, he can silence it, but he's got to figure out what else he wants to do.
There's no AoE as well, so...
Oh, we've seen a Shadow Flame.
Yeah, we've seen the Shadow Flame. So right now... And did Thijs play 2 AoEs only in the Qualifier?
In the Qualifier, he played 1 Shadow Flame and 1 Hellfire.
1 Hellfire.
But we haven't seen these lists, so we don't know what he's changed. That was some time ago, and things do shift very quickly in the Hearthstone meta when it comes to tournaments.
So this means that both targets are actually priority targets. You want to get rid of Warsong, and you want to get rid of Patron as well, because even though Patrons will not get charged, if Lifecoach gets full board of Patrons, you will not be able to deal with that.
It looks like he's going to commit to the Owl here. This Warsong is very threatening, probably more threatening than the Patron because of the Frothing Berserker. And if he was able to generate some more Patrons, get some more Whirlwind effects on, he might actually just be dead, so... Oh, he goes for the Mortal Coil. So he doesn't want the Patron to spawn another one from hitting the Owl. So very smart play from Thijs there.
I'm just looking if there is lethal. I think with the Frauding War Song, that's 5 minutes board, so we're in this +5. So Frauding will attack for 7, 10, +2. It's 12 points of damage, so Lifecoach is missing 3 points of damage here. No, actually, he's going to get a Patron, so
yeah,
that's lethal.
And there we were talking about how bad this matchup was, and all of a sudden, Lifecoach on 6 health, very close to losing, manages to find a victory here. And that just shows how powerful this deck is and what it is capable of. In its bad matchup, it wins.
It's exit lethal as well, so it's actually amazing where Thijs was so close to just stabilizing. Tough one for Thijs. Tough one for Thijs. He really prepared this deck to fight Patron, to stop Patron, and now Patron winning means that Patron is out for Lifecoach. He just needs to win with the Druid and Hunter, and those are like a totally different matchup versus this kind of handlock.
If you look at Thijs now, he's gone into this series, he's already lost a game yesterday, so he needs to win this. Handlock is his good matchup for Patron, so, and as you can see now, he's looking a bit frustrated. You need to win that matchup. If you want to win the series, that is an easier game for you to deal with the Patron, so now he's got Hunter, mid-range Hunter, and Druid, and Handlock can struggle against those decks.
You mean Thijs?
Thijs, yeah, with his Handlock.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Druid.
No, he has to face Druid, sorry.
Yeah, he has to face
Druid and Hunter, so winning with that Patron match is probably really important for him, because the Handlock loses its bad matchups from getting knocked out from the Conquest format, but now it has to win against Fast Druid and Mid-Hunter, and they can be tough.
Yeah, they can be definitely tough for Handlock, but, well, he can't really think about it right now. He needs to focus how to win with other decks as well, and he queues in his Hunter this time versus the Druid. So game number 2 is going to start. Lifecoach's had double Innervate. Like, what is this?
This is the dream hand, and a Shredder as well, wow. So Lifecoach finding those kind of God Druid hands straight from the get-go, all that ramp, being able to cheat those expensive minions really early and contest Thijs' board.
This is how you win versus Hunter, basically. You just want to innervate, Shredder, Swipe, Keeper of the Grove, deal with the early aggression from Hunter, just slow the game down, and get to the point where you play Druid of the Claw, you play Ancient of War, maybe, if you have it in your deck. Just the big guys, you start healing with Ancient of War. And Thijs, well, he has Knife Juggler, so he has some curve. He will have Glaive Zook as well. He's missing a 1-drop, so no pressure there.
It's also important to note, if you didn't see yesterday's game, Thijs is playing Hybrid Hunter, so he's playing a lot of faster version of kind of the mid-range. It's kind of like a mid-range face hybrid. So he's running Explosive Trap as well, which is not great against Druid. Freezing Trap is an amazing card against Druid. So I don't know how many explosives he said he was running, because we did briefly touch on it on the way here, but
we've seen one, and that's what Lifecoach knows. Like, he knows that there is one at least. So we will see. Like, Lifecoach roping on turn 1, classical turn by Lifecoach. There's a Leper Gnome, 1 turn too late.
He actually had some decisions to make, though, on turn 1. Does he innovate, coin the Shredder out? It depends how much he valued his coin, and Thijs didn't actually have a turn 1 play, so he maybe felt that he didn't need to waste that resource straight away, because now this Shredder can contest the Knife Juggler.
Yeah, Lifecoach also takes the time to just think about the whole matchup on turn 1, because you have the time. It's your turn. You can use it as much as you want. So he is using the time to his advantage. Okay, so for Thijs, free mana, you can... What do? Just, you want to pressure Druid. And facing a Pilot or Shredder is actually really annoying.
So I think he's got kind of 2 RNG plays if he wants. He can go for an Animal Companion and hope it's maybe something that can contest the Shredder. He could go for a Leper Gnome, and if the dagger hits the Shredder, he could Glaive Zuka and clear the Shredder. But you still have to deal with what comes out. So either way, it seems each option's a bit clunky, you know. There's no kind of solid answer to the Shredder right now.
Yeah, I like the Leper Gnome thing with Glaive Zuka, because with this at least he's able to deal with it and protect the Juggler maybe. Oh, and the buff lands on Juggler, so a bit lucky here, a 50-50. He could have got +1 on Leper Gnome and miss 1 point of damage, but this is ideal for him.
Yeah, he could have done it the other way around, but I think he wanted to make sure that the dagger was going on the Shredder. He might have maybe hero powered instead if it hadn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though it may have seemed a bit strange because you don't guarantee the buff on the Knife Juggler, he needed to see where the RNG was going first before he could commit to the Glaive Zuka.
So for Lifecoach, he has a clear trade on the Juggler if he chooses to. What will be the play though? If he uses the second Innervate to cast Azure Drake, he's getting a card, he's getting a solid minion on board.
Yeah, he's got that clean trade into the Knife Juggler, like you said. He gets another minion on board, because he was kind of lacking minions until he drew that. But also, if this Azure Drake sticks around, he has the Mega Swipe, which I like to call. Like,
the Mega Swipe. It actually makes Swipe good, because the normal Swipe is not that great. I mean, like one damage to all the minions, not killing that much stuff. But when you have the Mega Swipe, that's a good name, I like it.
It's awesome, I love it.
It's the best AoE in the game, almost.
I loved back in the day when you'd run Falnos in Druid and you'd get the Mega Swipe and it'd clear loads of stuff, especially against aggro. So now Thijs needs to decide if he wants to continue trading here. I think you do here. You don't want to give spell power options to this Azure Drake because Wrath becomes 4, so we could Wrath the Leok pretty cleanly as well. Like, so you got the Mega Swipe as well. So
I think the biggest thing was that Azure Drake just trades into Leok and kills it, and you can hero power and kill the Leperno. So you're behind right there. But it looks really bad for Thijs. Like, he has no pressure. That's a great pickup. Lothep on 5 being a 5-drop, but his hand still, even though there is a lot of damage, he will need more to win versus that Druid.
He needs either some more mid-range stuff to keep contesting, or he needs some more aggressive stuff to complement his hand. So he can go kind of 2 ways with his game plan with his hand. So it's very much going to be based on what he draws. So he gets an animal companion here. So if he was to get a Huffer, he could play super aggressive from here. And he could perhaps close this out. But again, he's kind of relying on RNG a little bit.
I think Animal Companion is amazing. Like even with Leok, you have a minion that's not contested by Shade of Naxxramas fully. Lifecoach will have to shapeshift as well. So from your perspective, you have the Beast, and that's exactly what you needed.
I think Leok is a bit scary for Thijs here, because if Lifecoach was to draw BGH, that Lotheb's going down, and it's a very clean way to deal with Lotheb. I think you would have wanted a Huffer there, but you just got Leok, he has to roll with it. Second Leok as well. Lifecoach has a Swipe, he has a Wrath, he has loads of ways to kind of deal with this. And that's how Lifecoach has been playing, just reacting to everything Thijs.
I like Swipe and Wrath. I basically Wrath Lotheb for 1, see what you get, and then you swipe Lotheb and attack into Leok with your Shade on Naxxramas. You clear the board and you are still at 16, that you only face the Glaive Zuka, and you slowly prepare for the combo.
Oh, finds the Force, and he has Ancient of Law coming up next turn as well, so he can even heal if he gets really low. So Lifecoach looking really comfortable here.
He is in a great position, but then Thijs picking up Shredder, a nice card. I think with Glaive Zuka he has to clear Shade of Naxxramas to protect his Shredder, and this turret is not bad as well. Like, he'll be able to deal the damage. So Shredder was a great pickup. If he gets a Beast somewhere along the way, like, he's not dead yet. He has time to turn 8.
Yeah, he needs that Beast. He needs that Beast to really find a win here, because these kill commands are just sitting around. They're not really doing a lot. And these kill commands will be able to deal with Ancient of Law. He can take a more aggressive stance if he wants to. So they open up his options more if he finds that Beast card. But it was Thijs yesterday who drew the Highmane, and he needed a Beast to finish the game off, but the Highmane was too much mana.
It was Colento versus Lifecoach.
Colento, so yeah, finding me a high.
And I'm still confused who got that Highmane.
Oh yeah, from the hands, yeah. So at that point, like, the Beast was too high, and Colento or Lifecoach couldn't use it. So Thijs will need to find the right Beast sometimes. Maybe Highmane wouldn't be too bad here, but combo is threatened and the coin's there, so it's a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, this is a really important spot. Thijs will have to kill the 5/5 to survive. Eagle Horn Bow is a nice card. He will be able to pack even more damage. But no Beast means that he'll have to spend so much to kill this, and he might not play around combo on turn 8.
So Thijs not remembering the coin here. So Thijs just going for the all aggressive. He's going all in here.
You can't be too secure. Like, you can't play around combo on turn 8. You're a hunter. You are the one being aggressive. But this means that Lifecoach actually has enough mana to combo out and deal 21 points of damage.
Thijs is going to go down 2-0 here. It's not good for him.
That's so tough. And Lifecoach is going to take game number 2. Amazing amounts of damage, stopping Hunter with the Druid, which means that Lifecoach is left with his Hunter. And now he can lose 2 games. He just needs to win 1 out of 3 games to take the series versus Thijs.
Another thing is wild, Lifecoach has been so low each game. Thijs has just been like a turn away from finishing him off, but Lifecoach has always managed to come back and take this to that game. Thijs looking a bit frustrated here. He knows how much is on the line for him in this game. He wants to be able to go into that winner's bracket on Saturday so he can guarantee a spot to China, but right now it's looking quite bleak.
Yeah, he's definitely distressed, but on the other hand, I've seen Thijs come up on top from those tough spots in big tournaments like DreamHack Winter, where he was losing and then he just wins 3 games in a row. So Thijs is definitely a player that's on top of the world, and he can make it. Like, just needs maybe a bit of luck to win some unfavorable matchups. I think he still has a couple of good matchups versus Hunter. So even though Lifecoach is massively favored to take the match, I think Thijs is still in the saddle.
And I think that's completely correct. Lifecoach there, taking a breath there. He knows, this is his teammate. He knows what he's capable of. He knows the talent he has. So he's not underestimating him. Even though he's 2-0 up, he still knows that Thijs could still take this game, still take this series. So Lifecoach is going to have a lot of respect for his teammate. So it could go either way. It's not over yet. We still got, Thijs is still capable of winning the series, but it's going to be a climb. He's going to have to work hard, and he's going to have to get some good draws.
Absolutely true. All right, guys, game number 3 is starting. Hunter Mirror. We'll see if Thijs' explosive chop has meaning in this match, because he specifically has it for the mirrors. He wants to win the mirrors, but Lifecoach's hand is really good.
Well, these Hunters now, they're starting to get faster with the hybrid build, and a lot of these minions have 2 health, 1 health. So Explosive Trap is great of dealing with the board and kind of removing the pressure from these Hunter. And we see a Leponome already in Lifecoach's hand, so he is playing the faster variations of the mid-range. So they will definitely, that Explosive Trap will definitely play a part in being able to maintain that board.
I'm surprised by Leponome, actually, because Lifecoach was supposed to play a mid-range Hunter without Leponomes, I think. And he played the Leponome already. It's like before he was playing mostly Hummasters, like Jaimes, and this time it seems like a hybrid version.
You know, Lifecoach has a good history with Hunter as well. Sunshine Hunter back in the day really put a lot of spotlight on his early career, creating that deck. So he has a lot of experience with that, even though he hasn't been using it as much recently, because he did have kind of a set lineup in a lot of the events he was going to. And Hunter's actually taken his handlock spot this time. And handlocks have been quite an important deck in the meta recently because of Patron. So it's interesting that he's switched back to Hunter. Maybe trying something new.
Yeah, definitely. Just going back to playing Hunter again, back to his roots, which I enjoy. And he has an amazing curve here. Just need to decide if you want to play Animal Companion or Eagle Hornbow. Also, like, he picked up Pilot to Shredder, by the way. That's another card on curve that's amazing in the matchup. So if you play Animal Companion, like, I think you have to play Animal Companion. Whatever you get, you're in a good spot. Like, if you get Leok, you go face, because normally you would trade into one of the one-ones to get some value. If you get Misha or Huffer, well, with Huffer you can also think about going for face, because that's just 5 damage. But on the other hand, if you get a Huffer, you trade in the 1/1 maybe to protect the Huffer from the tokens. But now I think you just go face here. Those minions do contest the Leok.
But he has to trade his board away if he wants to just use the minions he has available to him. I mean, he has stuff in his hand to deal with it, Abusive Sergeant, Eagle Hornbow, so he does have options, but I think face is right. Face is the place right now. You want to start the race, put the aggression on, put the pressure on.
But that was like still a decision to attack a minion had some meaning, and maybe in a grand scheme of the game, the decision could have been made. There's Abusive Sergeant to deal with the Leok. The trap, the secret is Freezing Trap. So this means that you go for face, you don't want to with a small spider. This also signals that this might be a Freezing Trap to Lifecoach, because normally you might want to deny the Beast before turn 4 to avoid a Hummmaster.
Well, yesterday Thijs actually baited a Freezing Trap, which ended up being an Explosive Trap, and Stan Sifka ran his Argus into the Misha, expecting a freeze, and then it just died, and he was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But these guys are teammates, so I'm pretty sure these guys have a vague idea what they're playing. They maybe have even discussed their decks and their lineups going into this, because they both have a spot to get in China. We've got 3 spots given away in this tournament. So Lifecoach probably knows there's freezing traps as well. So he needs to figure out. He doesn't attack, so he's got that read there. There's a good read on him.
I think there is some merit into attacking to that freezing trap. If there's an eagle horn bow, you deal with the trap, and you basically your opponent will not get the +1 charge on the bow. So you save some damage. Like this trap will literally not deal 3 points of damage to you.
Thijs actually has an option of locking out this Pilot Shredder now with the freezing trap. If he clears this Haunted Creeper, and he does have the tools available, he can just leave this Pilot Shredder there. And we did see that yesterday as well. This Pilot Shredder just sat on board doing nothing for like 2 to 3 turns because he was afraid of the trap. And that worked out really well for him. So he has that option here too.
I think that's an excellent choice for a couple of reasons, because you not only clear the beast and set up the Pilot Shredder to the freezing trap, as you said, but you also play around Unleash the Hounds. So that's definitely a possibility. But on the other hand, like if there is an Unleash the Hound will get returned, and Pilot Shredder will be able to attack. But he goes for it.
He keeps a solid board here. Like I said, Unleash the Hounds is a problem here, but he's taking the more aggressive stance here, and he's locking out that Shredder. And I think it's worth taking the risk here, just
definitely
to protect his board, but also stop the aggression from Lifecoach and start to go on the offensive himself.
So for now, Thijs has an edge. If Lifecoach would pick that Unleash the Hounds with Juggler, it would be deadly. But without it, he doesn't have a minion to charge, so Pilot Shredder is locked. What is the play though? If he plays another Pilot Shredder, it doesn't change his situation that much. Thijs is just going to continue attacking phase. Playing Juggler doesn't make much sense, because you hope that you're going to get the Unleash the Hounds, and Juggler Unleash is one of your comeback mechanisms to win the matchup.
Yes, it's a tough play for Lifecoach. He can either bounce this Shredder and play a new Shredder, but that just seems a bit weak because Thijs has such a strong board here. Or he could go Eagle Horn Bow Hero Power and just go on the offensive. I think that's another option, but each play just seems a bit lackluster.
I think at this point you don't bounce the Shredder, because there is a bow in play, so you don't want to give the +3 damage. You want to never activate the secret unless you really have to. That's why I liked attacking with the Haunted Creeper 1 turn before the bow was set up. And
it's a less valuable minion than Shredder. So yeah, I agree. Maybe there's a bit of a misplay on Lifecoach's part, or maybe he just didn't. He was still a bit uncertain about the trap, but now he definitely seems to know what this. And Ty's taking on the aggressive stance here. He's knocking him down to 14.
Yeah, there's so much damage coming from Thijs. Next turn he will be able to deal 10 points of damage just with his hand and the bow. So if 4 points of damage, 4 power remains on board, he's just going to win. Lifecoach needs that Unleash the Hounds right now.
He doesn't find it. He finds a low fair, be able to lock out that kill command, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, it seems like it's over if he can only attack with 1 Pilot Shredder because the freezing trap is going to stop him. If he plays Juggler, he cannot even land a knife. Loflab is too expensive. If he uses Eagle Hornbow to trade with something, he's going to take damage.
Yeah, he can't use the weapon as a way to clear here because, like you said, he's going to just take damage and it's just going to set up more lethal. He relies on the knife here, hits the 1-1, not enough. He does clear the 2-1, that's not too bad, but
that's it. Like there is enough power on board. Just there also kill command will deal 5 damage because the beast is still there. So Thijs is going to take game number 3. He's not out yet. He's fighting and trying to win versus Lifecoach is in this very important match here, gamescom WCA European Qualifier.
It's good for him. He's got the momentum now. He's got that win, Lifecoach. It was a really convincing win as well. He played really well. He used that freezing trap excellently. And that freezing trap was, I think, the big part of that game. It just locked out Lifecoach from doing anything, and then Thijs just went crazy, just kept hitting face. And
this win is so important for Thijs, not only because he's still alive, but it breaks momentum that Lifecoach had. Winning this first game with unfavorable matchup, then going into the Druid, also like taking Thijs, he had momentum, he could win the mirror. But right now Thijs is like, all right guys, I got this. I won 1 game, I won a mirror. Mirror is difficult. And I'm just going into those difficult matchups, but I'm feeling good. I can do it.
It brings that confidence. He looks a lot more composed than he did before the last game. So he's definitely thought, okay, I'm back in this. It's not over. And Lifecoach had his head buried in his hands. He was trying to think what he needs to do to win, because he knows what Thijs has got. He's got Patron Warrior, and we've seen what Patron's capable of already, and Thijs has queued it. The handlock game, if Thijs wins this game, the handlock game is going to be very interesting, I think.
I would love to see handlock game again, but we're going into game number 4, Patron Warrior versus Hunter. Thijs on the verge of elimination. He needs to win to stay alive. Lifecoach just one more win, and he actually will be in the upper bracket. That will be his second win, so I think that will be almost guaranteed to be in the upper bracket on Saturday.
Unless there's a tie somewhere, but yeah, if Lifecoach takes this game, he'll probably be feeling very comfortable and very confident. Lifecoach gazing off into the distance there, trying to collect his thoughts, figure out what's going on, and he gets the Knife Juggler on too. Thijs actually finds the Death Bite in his open hand as well. That's really good. And the Unstable Ghoul. Unstable Ghoul's an excellent card of keeping Hunter at bay. We see a Houndmaster as well, actually. So Houndmaster and Lepinomes.
Yeah, so
interesting.
He's possibly playing just one Houndmaster maybe to make it a bit of a more hybrid build with mid-range elements. So I guess we have another breed of Hunter, another Lifecoach Hunter, which is a hybrid of Hybrid Hunter and mid-range Hunter.
Hound Hybrid Hunter?
I guess.
Or Hybrid Master Hunter?
Let's call it Lifecoach Hunter.
Lifecoach Hunter. I'm good with that.
Houndmaster will be pretty good because there's Animal Companion. But on the other hand, Thijs will be able to coin the Death Bite. As Thijs, as the Green Patron, you're looking for those early game cards. Cool Armor Smith, weapons to deal with the aggression. Huffer is actually amazing. That's 8 points of damage if you want to clear it with the weapon.
Yeah, Huffer's excellent here. The best companion you could have found in this spot, because he knows the coin is available for Thijs, and if he has a Death Bite, he's going to definitely clear it. And this guarantees, it's double damage pretty much from the Animal Companion, so that's really good for Thijs.
Yep.
Lifecoach, sorry.
But Lifecoach is not giving up after the loss of Huffer. He has a Pilot Shredder. Double Med Scientist is interesting as well. I don't know if he's running dual traps like we've seen. Have we seen any traps from Lifecoach? We've seen freezing.
Just freezing so far.
Just freezing. So Double Med Scientist, if you only have freezing, doesn't work that well. I like Shredder. I mean, you deal 4 more damage and you get a minion that can do things again. Maybe you can get a beast, and then the Houndmaster will actually have even more value.
Captain's Parrot might actually be useful.
Yeah, or like you can get a Crocolisk as well.
Haunted Creeper. There's a lot of options coming from this Pilot Shredder. I like the Pilot Shredder as well. Like I say, he takes 4 extra damage. He doesn't clear it completely without committing any other cards in his hand to it. It's just sticky. He just stays on the board a little longer and lets him generate a bit more tempo.
Another option is like Med Scientist and Hero Power. If you want to start using Hero Power to deal even more damage and bait the Death Bite attack into that Med Scientist.
And that would deal 4 damage as well, so there's a merit to both plays. And it
Yeah.
sets up a trap ready. So he does go for the Shredder here. I think both players had their merits.
So just looking at Thijs' hand and situation, he is facing those minions. He can execute this to not take 4 points of damage. Just Taskmaster, execute, and then attack with the weapon into whatever is being popped. But on the other hand, he's still at 22, so like attacking into it and then seeing what happens, maybe there will be a 1 toughness minion that he can actually just Taskmaster.
It looks like he wants a Taskmaster here. He doesn't want to take 4 damage again. He's already taken 8 damage from that Huffer alone. So it's a very brutal amount of damage. And he finds a Trog, which can clear up the Death Bite pretty easily. So that's pretty decent. He could have found a Millhouse, and that would have been another 4 damage. And
yeah.
it would have been too painful for Thijs. But
another good thing about this is that now you have a damaged minion, so Battle Rage gains some value.
Yeah, that's true. So we can draw 2 cards if this minion sticks around. So yeah, that's good. That's good for Thijs. He probably was thinking about that when he made that decision. So well played from him there. And he gets to draw more cards for Forreston on 6 as well. So this definitely plays into his favor. Finds a Slam. Not really going to do much here, but he can trade into one to the Scientist, get a trap out. It's still a bit awkward for Thijs. I mean, this double Scientist is pretty good here because he's going to be able to set. You can only clear 1, but
he can slam 1.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter if you trade a card or not. The Slam is a good removal card versus Hunter. Just slamming Scientist, slamming a Knife Juggler is always right. So with Slam, he will be able to deny the second Well, if there are 2 traps for Lifecoach, then I guess, well, he's going to get 2 of them. But if you slam an attack into the scientist, if there's only a freezing trap, he denies the value of one of the scientists. Good sequencing, not slamming first.
And there are 2 traps, so we didn't see that yesterday, and Thijs obviously probably didn't see it as well, so he kind of took the risk here. So Lifecoach still gets the value from double scientists, and fins his deck because they come straight from the deck, so he gets them out the way. You never really want to play traps, you want scientists to find them for you. So
that's true. I think I would guess that that's a snake trap, seeing the Houndmaster. And right now he picks on all as well, so setups the taunt, which in fact this is a snake trap, he will be able to activate it. So for Thijs, it's Torisan. Yeah, like you don't really have a play better than Torisan. Torisan is a 5/5 on board, and you ensure that you'll have better plays starting from this. And one of your only chances will be just to steal the win with the frauding, because you're not getting this board back easily. There is no patron for Thijs for now, so he'll not be able to trade into minions. He only has this silver bullet frauding with charge that with a bit of luck and a big board from Lifecoach can maybe get lethal.
And the Frovin interacts so well with the snake trap, it just creates more damage on him. I really like this play from Lifecoach. I was just thinking he can be so aggressive here and do so much damage. And playing that Haunted Creeper as well and having the snake trap will give him an activate for kill command. So he's getting very close to finding the win here.
Yeah. Lifecoach is in an amazing position. He's just pressuring with those big minions, dealing damage. He has the Unleash the Hounds kill command, hero power as well, which is amazing. Thijs will just have to play all the cards next turn to try and stay alive. But there are 2 secrets, full board, and he's already at 5.
So that freezing trap's going to be able to bounce this Forest. He's on 30 health as well, so he's got to find 30 damage.
He can bounce like Acolyte of Pain after casting Whirlwind. So basically, Warsong, Frauding, Acolyte of Pain, your Whirlwinds, just to get a card. And then, well, you will not have... Will he have 1 mana? He will have 1 mana actually after this.
This is tough. So he's going to pop the snake trap as well.
If that's a snake trap.
If that's a snake trap, that's true. It could be explosive. We don't know. So yeah, if it's a snake trap, you're going to want to play Frovin first because you're going to want to be able to find some damage from this Inner Rage on the Acolyte as well, and then the Whirlwind after. So just creating more damage on the Frovin Berserker. Yeah,
unfortunately for him, he will not be able to gain any health. So Lifecoach with Unleash the Hounds and Hero Power will be able to deal enough.
It's not Snake, so it is explosive.
It's explosive, so it's even worse because he could be dealing with Snake easily with that free Whirlwind, but right now this will be free 5 points of damage. Like Lifecoach doesn't even need anything else. That's lethal, and Lifecoach is going to take the match versus Thijs 3-1, having a 2-0 record in our round robin.
Yeah, he's done excellent, Lifecoach. He's probably feeling like a weight is off his shoulders now. He doesn't need to find, say, another win to get that winner's bracket. He's more than likely going to go there unless there's a tiebreaker somewhere. So, yeah, good games to both players. Thijs almost had that comeback. He had that momentum from the 3rd game. He found a really convincing win, but unfortunately, he couldn't find anything with his Patron Warrior.
Oh, man, I have to feel for Thijs. Like, he's 0-2 right now in the round robin. He'll have... The last match is versus Colento?
Colento.
So he needs to win versus Colento. Even if he wins versus Colento, he'll be 1-2. So he's almost guaranteed to be in the lower bracket. And in the lower bracket, you'll have the match of the tournament. Because if you lose in the lower bracket, you're 4th.
There's a lot of pressure on that match as well, which will be on Saturday. And yeah, the guy who loses that goes home with nothing. And it is harsh, but it just makes the environment more competitive. And I like that part of the tournament, that someone can actually walk away with nothing but a trip at Gamescom. Gamescom is cool. Like that is a reward in itself. But these are hungry players. They're competitive. They really want to go to China and show what they're made of.
Yeah, it's actually amazing. And after that, we'll have another match. Today we have Colento versus Stansivka as well. But before that, we'll have some Warcraft, and basically for the next 2 days, we continue with the round robin. We'll have 4 more round robin matches, and then on Saturday, as we said, upper bracket, lower bracket, and finals on Sunday. So that's pretty impressive. And I don't know what to say, man. I just want to hear our life coach and what he has to say about this game and about this match. So Josh, take it away and let us ask our questions.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations, life coach. Another significant victory for you. And the first 2 games look pretty solid. But in game 3, do you feel you could have done something differently against Thijs' deck?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, like, I was like amazed by my start, like perfect curve, 4 cards and 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Just amazing. I mean, but then, I mean, Thijs simply had like an explosive start, and like also with the traps, like they were perfectly aligned. So perhaps, I mean, the only thing like I was thinking about like attacking the mad scientist, but then if a freezing trap comes out, you can simply trade the minions, and then my Leok will get freezed. So I think that was not a good line, and from turn 4 I was simply hoping that I top deck the Hounds. If I top deck the Hounds, I win. If I don't, I mean, Thijs really had like an explosive start, so nothing to do about.
Well, we saw how close it was, especially in game 2. It was 1 turn away from coming back and taking you down. You were able to get the victory there. In game 4, it seemed so smooth for you. You didn't even take any damage to the face in game 4. What was it about game 4 that you felt went so well for your deck?
Yeah, well, actually, game 4 was like ultra close, because like, I mean, it's not about the life total, but it's just about the patron to be able to stabilize. So once the patron stabilizes, Hunter loses. So that's how it works. And I mean, you also talked about like the Patron Warrior against the Warlock match, and Thijs really did an awesome job blocking off the damage. So 1 turn I was 1-off lethal, and the last turn I basically could create exact lethal with all my cards in the hand. So if this doesn't work, like this game is simply lost. And the same went for the Hunter game. I mean, it was exact lethal, my hand was empty. So if I don't win that turn, like it was insanely close, and really well played by Thijs too. Like that he really took took count of his life total and blocked off the damage. So really close matches, actually.
Definitely. Thijs put on a great performance, but you're going to move on. We'll see you a little bit later this weekend in gamescom, so congratulations once again on your victory. That is it for our first match for Hearthstone. We're going to get ready for our WarCraft 3 match after this quick break, and we also have some cool items to give out to the audience, so stick around. We'll be back after this.